We need to get going if we want to beat the morning rush on the trail.
Just a sec, Dad. I'm making some deposits for the business, paying vendors, and transferring funds.
Can't we just swing by Cornerstone on the way back?
Well, I can't always make it to the bank. This way, I never miss a step.
Well, the folks at the bank will take really good care of you.
It's very true, but I'm already done, so ready to go?
Yeah.
Whether you prefer the personal touch of our branches or the convenience of banking from anywhere, we've got you covered. Cornerstone Community Bank, where relationships matter and banking is a step ahead.
All right, so I hope that you enjoyed that just as much as I enjoyed making it. I really enjoy this commercial. It was my first ever official full-on production commercial. Up until now, I have been doing commercials that involved maybe one or two people, myself and an assistant, but this one was the first one where I had a full DP, a gaffer, audio engineer, a PA, swing grip, a first AC to help with things, and you can tell the difference when you have a full-on crew. It's such a big difference. And so when I got asked by the bank to do a commercial for them and what their budget was, I was like, well, so normally I just take that full budget, you know, for myself or for another person as well. But this time I'm gonna invest in a crew, and we're going to make this thing look so as awesome as it can look. And so, you know, I think that's something that a lot of filmmakers don't really understand when they are getting into the commercial space, is like you have to bring people on that know more than you and can do specific jobs better than you to make your work stand above the rest. You know, to get better at what you do, you have to bring people in. You can't do it all by yourself. So that's what I did, and so that's where we are now. And I'm hoping to do a lot more commercials in the future that require full crews, because the quality just speaks volumes when you have a full crew. So this video, I wanted to show you how I did everything and break down all of my lighting scenarios and each scene, and tell you about how I directed it, and then how we lit it, and everything in between. So I hope you enjoy this, and let's get into it. So in the beginning of this scene, we had the camera on a track for a nice smooth push-in from directly in front of the talent, and then we cut to a similar shot just to the right of the talent on track as well, to continue the smooth push-in. And off to the left here, we have a 600X Aputure with a big huge light dome on it, just to give this nice soft glow on the talent. The goal for this commercial was for it to be in the morning in the kitchen, to show this father and son going on a hike in the morning, but they have a problem. You know, he needs to make some decisions with his business, and it's related to banking. And so how do we answer that problem with Cornerstone's new mobile app? And so that's how the son is doing it, but the dad has his own ideas, right? So we had the Aputure, the 600X off to the side, right? And then outside we had two Aputure 1200Ds, one of which was going through, I believe it was an 8x8 diffusion, or a 6x6 or something like that, but it was a pretty big size diffusion outside of the window there, and that really lit up our space. You know, I'm a firm believer in lighting spaces, not faces, and so I think that's what we really did well here, was lighting this space well and high key. I want it to be nice and bright, corporate-y, very commercial, and so that's where the Aputures, the 1200Ds, really came in handy. And then the second 1200D had a spotlight attachment on it, and that's where you get these nice harsh kind of shadows on the cabinets here. And so I really loved how my gaffer really set that up. It turned out so awesome. And then right underneath here, you can see these little soft glows, and these are Aputure MCs. And Aputure MCs are really cool because they have magnets on the back of them. And a cool thing that my gaffer and my DP showed me was that in order to stick those anywhere you want, you can take metal washers with holes in the middle, and you stick them in the middle of the gaff tape, and then you tape the washer to any surface that you want, and then the MC will stick right to it. And so that's what they did. So they took gaff tape with washers, and they stuck it right underneath these cabinets, and then they put the MCs right underneath there, and it made this nice little soft glow that just added a bit of character, a bit of detail to the background, and really lit our space really well. As you can see here, we have a few art direction items. We didn't have a set decorator, and so I was the one that was doing all that. And so I just found some stuff in this person's house and just put it on the table, and just to make it look lived in, and make it, look a bit nicer and more lived in. We also had a Skypanel right outside here. It was about right here, and it was shooting in to give us some nice bounce here for the characters, to fill in the background, make it bright, nice and bright. And then we hung up this up on a pole, and we just placed it right on top of the cabinets, and then we had some nice detail there in the back to make it more interesting. And then the Skypanel was shooting right through, and made it look really nice. And so then we navigated outside, and outside here we have we have a bounce here off to the right, which is illuminating our town's back. And then we took a branch that we found nearby, and we put it on a C-stand to create some depth in the frame. And then he was on he was on the track again, so he did a slight push in. And then we did another track shot where he's going from the left to right. As you can see, a lot of depth here, shooting a lot through things to create dynamic frames. And then we have a tripod shot, another shot on tripod, just following through the forest, again focusing on the depth, focusing on dirtying that frame up. We want to feel like we're walking with them. And then final shot is a tripod shot, and then we added a little zoom out in post and then blurred it to make sure that logo popped nicely. In terms of the direction, the goal for this commercial was to kind of have a contrast between new and old school way of thinking when it came to banking. And so my idea for this, I did write an original script for this, and then the client took that script and then they made it work for themselves, right? And so the goal, the baseline goal though, was to really show how fast you can bank, with this mobile app. And so we have two differing opinions right here, right? And so we have the son who is utilizing this mobile app to do his banking, and then the dad who is used to going in and doing everything in person, a very old school way of thinking, which is great, has its perks and it has its good things. He's very relationship based, whereas our newer generation is very time based. So dad is curious about what's going on, right? And son is showing him. He's pretty stoked about it because it's making it really easy for him. And then so dad he shows him, and then dad leans back. So this is a key detail here that I directed, because I wanted the dad to be kind of leaning back into his own opinion. He saw what the son was doing, and then he's gonna double down on what he thinks is right. And so that's why he leaned back. He's leaning away from his son's opinion. And then we have a nice little product placement with the Cornerstone mug there, and then unbeknownst to dad, the son is already done, which is the whole point of the app. It's shocking, right? So he's like, whoa, you're already done? That's crazy. And so then they get to go on their hike sooner rather than later. So yeah, that wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed watching that. I'm gonna be making a lot more of them. I have a few commercial gigs coming up, as well as some music videos. I wanna do a lot of breakdowns for you guys, because I love watching them online on YouTube, and I love seeing how people do things myself. And so I wanted to show you guys how we did this. And so I'm gonna be doing a lot more of these in the future. And so if you wanna see more of this content, feel free to subscribe. I'm gonna be doing some short films as well. I have a lot of scripts that I'm working on, and I think that they're gonna be pretty great. So hit that subscribe button, follow my journey, and I hope you learned something. Have a good day.